Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. Alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin', making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin', making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all in my blood, all in my veins. They started with perky, now that hair right up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin', making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the string. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin', making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the string. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost, see, I glossed to it, shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
The alleyway. You know, I had to really step back and look at my situation for what it was. You know, I had to look at my life like it was a movie. I had to look at all the moving parts. So I could really understand what it was. You know, they say love make you blind. Yeah. I'm introverted. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bed, I got a murder. Echoes of the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burdens. The streets wanna murder. Streets wanna murder. I told you that this thing of ours it come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. Hate the city red. All the shit I seen replaying in my head. Heard the streets talking, so we caught them boys instead. Block wanna murder and they caught with another feds. And I thought they would, but it was right, but really, niggas was crooked. Playing the 50 with niggas that cost them a bullet. Ain't wanna do it to them, but I had to pull it. One foot in the streets, one foot in the trap, my hand on the music. I write my wrongs on this microphone, it's therapeutic. I know the streets listen when I talk, I can't abuse it. I can't abuse it. I can't abuse it. Oh no, I can't abuse it. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bag, I got a murder. Echoes of the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burden. I'm introverted. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bag, I got a murder. Echoes of the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burdens. The streets wanna murder. Streets wanna murder. I told you that this thing of ours it come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. Guilty of baby, you know why I get it. Looking at the grind, bitch, I'm on a mission. Over they talking, little baby, I'm different. Hand on my nuts, I handle my business. Hit on my phone, shit independent. I'm really rapping the shit that I'm living. I got a problem inside of my mind. I hear the streets talking, they tell me to get it. I gotta get it. Yeah, me and she tell me I'm tripping. All of my money on top of my music to give myself what I was missing. I never asked them niggas for a band. I never called them niggas in the jam. I know the ops stepping in the moon. I know my head going for a 10. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bag, I got a murder. Echoes of the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burdens. The streets wanna murder.
so dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God or Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turn on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. And stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God, it's never our vernacular. They get niggas died in 1965. Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled high, I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. If being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say.
Suave on the track.
We're still here. I still have my practices. We know who we are. This is who we are. So you can call me colored, you can call me Negro, you can call me black.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you gotta be
What kind
kidding
of
me.
Indian are you?
Like Tonto Indian?
Shinnecock Indian.
Really, you're a Shinnecock?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you're a Shinnecock.
Could have fooled me.
That's the kind I am.
Hey.
So you should be Big Chief Bastard, not Old Dirty.
His family was here when Columbus landed.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. Alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair right up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost, see, I glossed too, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the
Peace and blessings to all American Aborigines out there, man. How y'all feeling this grand rising? Y'all okay? Y'all good? How y'all feeling? Want to make sure we good. Get the fire emojis in the building. Shout out to the 80 people that's in here. If I can get everybody to hit the like button and share the live stream, we on a good motion today, man. Shout out to everybody today. It's a great grand rising. Shout out to my brother Al TV. Great live stream this morning for us to wake up to. Shout out to everybody. How y'all feeling this grand rising? How y'all feeling this grand rising? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hopefully everybody's having a great grand rising. This is the Wake and Bake Show, by the way. So I want to know what city, what state y'all in. I mean, how y'all feeling this grand rising, man? You already know it's tradition. Let me put this thing in the hole. Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Y'all know the vibes, man. Where y'all at? What y'all smoking on this grand rising? Top of the morning for LA in the building. Let me take the time out to shout out everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody that's tapping in, that's not able to comment or chat. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all be safe, be aware, stay vigilant, stay dangerous on your daily commute. I also want to take the time out to shout out most of the brothers and sisters that's in the chat. Shout out to you guys. I'm also going to take the time out to shout you out. Shout out to Nicole Johnson, Lady Lane Goddess, Shirley Shalom, Anton Williams, Black Wolf, Crip Walk, Mr. C, James Williams, Lucifer Dapper, Samantha White, Chief Kokomo. Who else we got up in this thing? E. Phillips, Kevin Gilbert. Shout out to Kevin Gilbert, man. Peace and love. You know it's all love, man. I want to say, I mean it to everybody in the chat, man. I really put nothing but blessings and love out in the atmosphere for y'all to gravitate to it. Shout out to Eastside 1415, Wakanda EIE, Manguzi, Pop Reed. Shout out to TT Portier, Skittles Conway, Miss Jelly, Romani Bay, my cousin, my big cuzzo, Mr. Aboriginal Smith. Shout out to cuzzo. Shout out to cuzzo. Leonidas, Crip Walk, what up, cuz? Shout out to cuzzo. James Williams, Copper Tone, Lewis Luck. Who else we got up in this thing this morning? We lit. Make sure y'all hit that like button. N. Jones in the building. Marquise Dorsetto in the building. Michelle Norton, Son of California, Snake Guy. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We lit, man. Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis. I don't want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Let me double back. Shout out to my brother Hawk School. Shout out to Tyrone Ling, Fresh One TV, and Alicia ST. I hope I pronounced that right. We got Kamala Richardson. We got Jeannie C. Hope I pronounced your name right. A Rising Aboriginal, House of Nathan. Buck Williams in this motherfucker. General Peace in this motherfucker. All right, we got everybody off in this thing. Can I get y'all to drop a fire emoji and thumb up the video? Can I get y'all to drop a fire emoji and thumb up the video? If y'all want to support the channel, Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Hey, we starting off with some more heat, proving that Native Americans are European and Asian descent by cultural practice and linguistic evidence. We're gonna be getting into that. I know y'all just seen me do the bill with my brother 111 Truth. He definitely came in and dropped some heat. I want to give a special shout out to everybody in the chat from the Republic of Atlantis. I went live on Bout News yesterday. I don't know if y'all got to see the channel yesterday on Bout News. We had an announcement. October 31st is going down. Big Aboriginal Power versus Lex Vortex in a battle rap event. On Halloween, October the 31st is going down. For those who want to buy the tickets, you know what I mean? Tickets are on sale right now for the pay-per-view. Make sure y'all go to the description box below and purchase those. Make sure you go to the description box below and purchase those. If y'all want to walk like an Aborigine, talk like an Aborigine, shop and wear Aborigine clothing that's hand-grown, handmade, and hand-owned by Aborigine, make sure you go to weare2am.com. Make sure you go to weare2am.com. Go get you some of that Chief Holiday merch and 2am merch. Big Aboriginal Power merch coming real soon. Just be on the lookout for that. Oh yeah, if y'all want to smoke good, if y'all smoking good, y'all up every morning with the wake and bake. If y'all want to smoke hand grown, Aboriginal owned herb company, and y'all want to shop with Aborigines, make sure you go to Asteroid Co on Instagram. Somebody put that link in the chat. You go to Asteroid Co on Instagram, DM him using promotion code Aborigines, and you'll get your discount. Make sure you shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hey, can I get the chat flooded out with some fire emojis? Let's get the chat flooded out with some fire emojis, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Jarari, my bad, bro. I didn't mean to pronounce your name wrong earlier. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. It's very important for you guys to support the channel. All right, I'm not gonna hold y'all guys. Yeah, on Halloween, y'all, it's going down on Halloween. Me, Big Aboriginal Power versus Lex Vortex. Make sure y'all go get them pay-per-views. Make sure you tune into that. We're gonna tune in right now, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up because it's a lengthy build. Shout out to my brother 111 Truth Searcher for always bringing that heat. We're gonna get right into the live stream.
Not of my race. It or not, and the truth have to be coming out regardless of how you feel. I never intend to disrespect nobody, even if you're not of my race. You feel me? All I rather want to do is just present the truth and pull down the skirt of these fucking lies about who the fuck we are, what our heritage is, and the lies that's been done on our heritage and what is rightfully owed to us. We're not asking, we shouldn't have to ask. We're just making you aware of it, and hopefully in good conscience, the one that do control the grand scheme of things, with the help of the masses waking up on all ethnic backgrounds to the truth, that we can get some type of restitution and resolution to right the wrongs in a way of what was done. You feel me? So
that was perfectly put. Shout out to my brother 111 Truth. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We about to go in today. This is gonna be a good one. Shout out to Kevin Gilbert for the $5 cash out donation. He said thanks for the knowledge. I appreciate that, Kevin Gilbert. We really do. I appreciate all the love and the support. Shout out to Kevin Gilbert once again for the $5 cash out donation. He said for thanks for the knowledge, and I appreciate you. I'm glad you were able to get it, and I'm glad y'all able to come in and add y'all knowledge in, because we able to pick that up as well. Whatever jewels y'all pick up, we drop down, we pick up as well. Shout out to Kenneth Terhune. He sent the $2 cash out donation, aka Crip Walk. He said respect OG Bap. I appreciate you, gang. Shout out to my nigga Crip Walk for the $2 cash out donation. He said respect you. He said I respect you, OG Bap. I appreciate that. I respect you too. I respect all my family that's out here, that support the channel, that's in with the movement. Even the brothers that's not with the movement, that don't know that they Aboriginal. I respect them too. I'm here to educate the people. I'm not here to talk bad about their indoctrination or they lost stages. I'm not here to say fuck black people or fuck, because these are still my people. I have a mission statement at hand that I have to fulfill, which is to wake, educate, and bring these people up out of these situations. Because if don't know, don't do. And if we know, why ain't we doing? You see what I'm saying? That's what we want to put in work with, man. So shout out to all the American Aborigines. Shout out to all the FBA brothers and sisters that come into this platform. Make sure you share the live stream, hit the like button. Shout out to Laney in the building. Haven't seen you in a minute, Laney. Good to see you in here. Hope all is well. Peace and blessings to you.
It said shout out to Copper Nation. Shout out to Eugene Page and the original one, man. Salute to the guys. I said y'all coming in as I was giving my spiel out. You feel me? Man, salute to y'all. So like I always said, right, and so many people say in other communities as well, is that, you know, it's a saying that's been saying that the Europeans and the Asians are one people, right? But, you know, usually when they give it to you, they want to go back 11,000 years and, you know, when shit in that time. I'd rather give it to you more now in modern times, recent migrations, the intermingling and the connection, but also the genetic makeup of these people that show that this genetic connection has always been there. As I say, the most important thing to Europe and Asia was the connection of both. But the one thing that was blocking them was the Ottoman Empire in the middle, and also the North Africans and shit below them with the anonymous regions connected to the Ottoman Empire stopped their vast connection from coast to coast on a Eurasian basis, except for in the far region north where it is brutally cold at. So the discovery, well, not the discovery, them stumbling across America trying to find a new route was actually beneficial to them. Not to mention we had gold and silver, which is two of the hottest commodities to be able to buy things in the Asian part of this grand scheme of things, but how they are family connected, and the rulers of these regions concocted a grand scheme that connected them with the Americas, and then eventually helping each other in a certain way of taking over as being the rightful heirs of America, while booting and muting and hiding the identity of the originals Americans. So what I want to do is mute my screen, share it. And I just want to start it off with a quick little video first. And this is for educational purposes only. Fair use, educational purposes. It's not to demean nobody. It's only to bring forth evidence of what we're speaking about, and also the understanding of this evidence amongst all communities. So if we can get right into precision, the connection between
geneticists and outside observers.
All right. Let's get it.
See the similarities between modern Europeans and East Asians, with both groups being among the palest races of human beings on the planet. Early anthropologists and ethnographers asserted such during a less knowledgeable age, pointing out the various outlier populations in each respective group that had uncanny similarities to each other. Many early linguists in the past pointed out the fact canny.
Now we gotta just look at this image right here, because this is a Chinese person. But then if you didn't know no better, you would think this was a Caucasian. And in the literal term, the original Caucasian, right? The Asian people gave birth to the white people. These are the same people. They often follow different practices, but often have the same genetic link in linguistics. We'll get into the Germanic languages, some of these Siberian Russian languages, in contrast to the Asian Siberian native language. So we'll get into this. Look at this little thing right here on the page. Just as pale and Chinese as can be.
Many similarities to each other. Many early linguists in the past pointed out the fact that certain groups in Europe, such as the Hungarians, Finnish, and the Sami, all speak languages belonging to the Uralic language family, a family that is largely believed to have originated from outside the borders of Europe. So what does this mean for their people? Pretty much every Uralic-speaking group, other than those in Europe, live in northern Russia, in and around the Ural Mountains. Now,
that's a good question. Somebody said, where the nose come from? We got to look at that real quick. Hold on, let's find that nose.
Europeans and East Asians, with both groups being among the palest races of human beings on the planet. Early anthropologists and ethnographers asserted such during East Asia.
Let's get it.
And outside observers.
All right.
Any true linguists in the past pointed out the fact uncanny similarities.
Yeah, let's look at this little thing right quick. Look how wide that motherfucking nose is. Like, where the nose come from? Somebody said. That's a good question. Big wide face ass pale Asian with a big wide nigga nose, and it looked like he got nigga lips. He got more lips than an African dude. What the fuck is going on here? Little Ling Ling, what's going on with your peoples over here, fam? what is this? Asian ninja turtle, nigga?
To each other. Many early linguists in the past pointed out the fact that certain groups in Europe, such as the Hungarians, Finnish, and the Sami, all speak languages belonging to the Uralic language family, a family that is largely believed to have originated from outside the borders of Europe. So what does this mean for their people? Pretty much every Uralic speaking group, other than those in Europe, live in northern Russia in and around the Ural Mountains. Now, it's been proven through haplogroup identification that most Uralic peoples are also connected genetically to other native Siberian ethnic groups, like the Turkic-speaking Yakuts of the Sakha Republic, Chukchi people, the Yukagir peoples, and possibly even the Tungusic peoples of far eastern Siberia and northeast China.
All right, let's stop it right there, right? Now,
yeah, let's stop right here. Don't this look like a native? This is a northeastern Siberian. Do this look like a Native American to you? Do any of the hairstyles and memorabilia and just do anything look similar to a Native American in contrast to this Siberian? This is a Siberian in northeastern Siberia, right across the borders from Europe. This is what you got. And they mean to tell me that we be wrong when we look at a motherfucking Native American and we tell them, listen, y'all Asians. Y'all little motherfuckers is Asians. Y'all not the original people. When we look at y'all, we can look at a phenotype, whether it's drawn, whether it's classic, whether it's in real reality. One thing for certain is when we look at this phenotype, even in imagery going back 3,000 years ago, you can see that same Asian phenotype being held up by what we call a Negro, a fully garbed, clothed Negro in America, in the area that we call Mexico today, is snatching up what we call a little Mexican today, or Asian phenotype, or a Native American. Our observation has not told us a lie. It's actually the linguistics and cultural practices is actually proven our theory to be correct. Now it's no longer a theory, you know. You know, it's no longer a theory. Once you set out and you lay out a hypothesis, right, and then you have things to prove it to be right, it becomes a scientific fact.
Imagery is a motherfucker. Let's go back over the imagery.
See, what you got to realize, these Native Americans and these Asians and these Mexicans all are living a Mongoloid diaspora. Shout out to Tyrone Ling Ling. Now, listen, my boy Tyrone Ling Ling, no, because he got Asian ancestors. He's one of the few out the Aboriginal group, right, that has Asian ancestors. I'm going to have to get Tyrone on here to get some interview on him. I'm going to interview him real soon.
Now, look at this. What do this remind you of?
Remind me of some Chinese movie out of motherfucking scene where they be jumping around, kicking shit. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like a movie. King chong ching chong chong ching. Shishini. You know how
what do this remind you of?
A movie.
Do I need to say it?
You know how the motherfuckers be talking? They be like, "I'm going to kill you," and they motherfucking mouths be moving, and you don't hear no words till a couple seconds later. "I'm going to kill you. I'm one of the Chinese that come over here."
Let's keep going.
The Republic, Chukchi people, the Yukagir
Crouching
peoples,
Tiger looking
and
at
possibly
what do this remind you of?
a Native American from
Need
America.
I say more? Let's keep going. You see the style of dress, the phenotype, the ponytails, everything. Let's keep going.
even the Tungusic peoples of far eastern Siberia and northeast China. The haplogroup that the majority of Siberian Uralic peoples carry is actually believed to have originated in southern China, moving north and then west.
Somebody said she looked just like the motherfucker.
So does this count?
Everything.
She do. She looked just like somebody from motherfucking Rush Hour. That's Juntao. You know what I'm saying? Sue Young. That's baby Sue Young. Them grew up on it. Goddamn, little Sue Young.
Let's keep going.
Even the Tungusic peoples of far eastern Siberia and northeast China. The haplogroup that the majority of Siberian Uralic peoples carry is actually believed to have originated in southern China, moving north and then west once the people reached the plains of Siberia. So does this mean that Hungarians, Finns, and other Uralic peoples are actually related to the Chinese? Well, race, ethnicity, and genetics are much more complicated than that. Does language perfectly correlate with race and ethnicity? Well, not necessarily in the case of the Turkish people who speak a Turkic language but are genetically more similar to other Middle Eastern people than the Central Asian Turkic groups. However, language is almost always a pretty good indicator of certain groups having a common lineage or genetic.
Nah, these motherfuckers look like white bitches. Excuse my French, educational purposes. These look like white people. I done went to school with some little white heifers that look like this. That look like Sarah, goddamn, what else are white people name? Becky and Karen. Sarah, Becky, and Karen. Goddamn, they all three. Hey, how you doing, that power? Fuck all, little Asians. Y'all trying to trick me like y'all white. What kind of mayonnaise you eat? Now I'm just playing. That's how you ask for white people. They say, we eat Dukes, we eat goddamn Hellmans. They gonna be like, that's what you need. Yeah, you gotta ask these white folk. We don't know who the white folk. Like, what you eat on your motherfucking salads? They say Miracle Whip, they white. They say peanut butter and sardines, they Asians. We gotta start asking these motherfuckers.
It's always a pretty good indicator of certain groups having a common lineage or genetic origin. What does this mean for the Hungarians, Finnish people, Estonians, and the Sami, the four ethnic groups native to Europe that predominantly speak a Uralic language? The majority of the time that a group passes through a region populated by a different race, they'll gradually mix in and assimilate with that host group, steadily losing some of their own traits while picking up characteristics of the latter. This is the case in such group as the Ashkenazi Jews, who originated in Levant, yet are mostly now European in appearance, and the Romani people of Eastern Europe, who can also mostly blend in with native whites.
Hey, Aborigines, what y'all put on y'all salad? This how I'm gonna know if y'all a real Aborigine. What y'all put on y'all salad? You only got two of them that you can put on there. What y'all putting on y'all salads? If y'all make a good salad, some baby spinach, some kale, you know what I'm saying? You got you some chopped turkey or some whatever the fuck y'all niggas. What kind of dressing y'all putting on? I need to know from you Aborigines, nigga. I'm on y'all ass.
And in the case of Hungarians, Finns, and Estonians, they are effectively no longer part of the Uralic gene pool, seeing how their original Uralic forefathers migrated to Europe over 1,000 years ago, and their original North Asian genes have been so effectively diluted through intermarriage with Europeans.
You see that? You see that? Do you see that? You will be lost in trying to identify that because you see two different phenotypes in this shit. Let's keep going.
That the average Finn or Hungarian has no more Asian DNA than your average Pole or Russian.
Fuck it. This is gonna tell me really, if y'all really Aborigine right here. I need all the Aborigines in the chat to drop a fire emoji and to answer this question. What do y'all put on y'all fried chicken? What kind of sauce going on y'all fried chicken? That's all I need to know. If you get it wrong, y'all out of here.
The Hungarian population today has much more in common with other Central Europeans, especially Slavs, and the Finnish population is very Norse in many ways, with one of the only remnants of their original Uralic foundation being their language and some aspects of their culture. The rest of the Uralic peoples of Siberia have a much larger proportion of...
What that remind you of?
Hold on, Lady Lynn.
Larger proportion of...
Hold on, Lady Lynn. Who the hell putting grape jelly on some damn fried chicken, Lady Lynn, guys? Now, no, I know they ain't doing that. What? Now that, no, we ain't putting no motherfucker. Somebody said Tabasco. Somebody done a Texas Pete. That is, y'all some real Aborigines in this. If y'all niggas said great, hey, whoever, great jelly though. Popeye's chicken and grape jelly. Oh, hell no, Lady Lynn. No, baby girl. Shout out to my sister. We put hot sauce on that motherfucker. Somebody said mumbo sauce. Hey, y'all, I forgot DC be on some different shit sometimes. DC be on some different shit. Baltimore, DC, y'all be on some different shit sometimes.
What that remind you of? Let's keep going.
The original North Asian gene pool, with many of the groups such as the Nenets, Mansi, and Mari having a very interesting look, being a combination of.
Look at this. Look at this. It's the Maori women.
Northeast Asian and Proto-East Europe.
Of modern times.
In this way, they're quite.
Man, these are supposed to be the Chinese Amari people. See, that's what I'm saying. And y'all mean to tell me white people ain't taking over people's culture? This is a white lady in Chinese memorabilia. This is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Mayonnaise right here. Come on, man. And y'all got the nerve to tell me that these white motherfuckers, these Asians that came over here and just did everything that we talking about in America. No, our culture is not like these people. It's two different cultures in America. Documented. You have Plains Indians and then you have the rest of the motherfucking Indians. They all practicing the same fucking culture, except for the Plains Indians. And it's not ironic that all of the Plains Indians look like Native Americans or Asians and shit. Or white people at this case. Come on, man.
Similar to the various Turkic groups of Central Asia, them being a mix of Middle Eastern, European, and East Asian genes, forming a transitional population between the many diverse regions that surround them. The Sami are very unique in Europe since they are a Samoyedic people located in Scandinavia, just north of the Finns, and are scattered throughout the various countries in the region, that being Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. They clearly look distinct from the Finnish people, having most of the tip.
Now, Kern, get the hell out that Chinese damn clothing, Kern. Come on now. Come on now, Miss Bertha. Come on, Miss Bertha. Your ass was my fucking school lunch cafeteria. You was my school lunch cafeteria, lady. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, Miss Bertha. Slopping that food down like that. What's wrong with these folks?
Typical physical traits of Northern Europeans.
What this remind you of? Let's keep going.
Except a very large proportion of Sami have the epicanthic fold of East Asians that led many early anthropologists to place Sami and Finns with East Asians rather than Europeans. However, through modern DNA testing and historical research, it's been determined that the Sami are no more genetically disparate from that of.
Now look, notice you see these two heavily here. Heavily. Now they're only making the connection of the Southeast Asian and Southeast America and that because we're considered Negroes. But notice you see these two shades heavily populated in these regions. Let's keep going.
Europeans than the Finns, with the epicanthic fold being reminiscent of an earlier native European population that lived in the region before the Uralic-speaking peoples arrived. The native people of Siberia come from many different language families and religions. However, most native Siberians have a common origin from East Asia. There are various definitions for the region that most Westerners know.
Listen, that's why we be trying to tell y'all, these people ain't our people. These are Native Americans. If these are your peoples, if these are not your peoples, right? Drop a fire emoji. If these your motherfucking peoples, then say these my people. Man, no, these ain't our peoples, man. We almost got 300 people in here, man. If you can get everybody to hit that like button, thumb up the video, y'all bullshitting with the likes. Real talk. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. Hit that like button and thumb up the video real quick. Just smash that like button. Go scalp that motherfucker. Go drop kick that bitch like it said something bad about your grandmama. Go kick the shit out that like button. Cut his motherfucking throat. He died to get beat up on. All right, and I need y'all to support the channel. We only had 1 to 2 people to support the channel. Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. Make sure y'all support the motherfucking channel. All right, let's continue, man. Let's go. This ain't our people.
East Asia. There are various definitions for the region that most Westerners know as Siberia, with the official description of Siberia in the strictest sense being the Siberian Federal District of Russia, being located in the middle of the largest country on Earth. However, many times Siberia is considered to be contiguous with the term North Asia and is simply used to describe all of the modern state of Russia east of the Ural mountain range, making it one of the most vast and devoid places on the planet, having the lowest population density of any region outside of Antarctica. Many people are aware that the overwhelming majority of people living in Siberia today are not native to the region, and in many ways, Siberia is similar to the continents of the Americas. The Russian conquest of Siberia was just that, a conquest, a subjugation of the land and people, a 300-year march to the east that asserted their dominance in the region and set them up for the path to superpower status. Their admittedly very ruthless and bloody route through the tundras of Siberia started in the early...
Now, look, they're giving you a timeline of migration from Europe to Asia above the northern region, because the southern regions of this area was under control of the Ottoman Empire, and they couldn't get there because they was being snatched up and put in slaves. So they went the northern route. As you move, people in the way of your conquest usually get absorbed into your empire, which they kept pushing all the way into America. So it's also safe to conclude that amongst this push to the Americas, because Russia did have control of Alaska, that these people in this region that they move along the way was pushing with that migration as well. Now, I have ran across evidence that show them bringing people across as well as they made the voyage that way. And I'm going to get into that in a later time when I'm able to indulge in it a little bit deeper. But let's just keep going.
1500s with the Cossacks, a class of Eastern European Slavic elite from Russia and Ukraine, in a rather stark reversal of the hundreds of years of supremacy of the East Asian Mongol groups. Today, the handful of native Siberians that are still around live in small to mid-sized pockets in the tundra.
Now, notice this section right here, right? Anu. I want y'all to remember that when I go into some more of this information. Remember this.
Largely speaking their own languages and following shamanistic traditional religions, while most rural...
Man, look at that drum. Look at this. The hat might be different, but look at this shit.
Areas, and virtually all urban areas in Siberia are inhabited by ethnic Russians, Ukrainians, and other Eastern European groups. Native Siberians can range in appearance from East Asians to...
What do that remind you of? What do that remind you of? Let's keep going.
Somewhat European to maybe somewhere...
Motherfucker off of Rush Hour. That's what it remind me of. It looked like somebody off of Rush Hour. It don't look like none of my peoples that was thriving, foundational niggas, the Aboriginal niggas who built this science of masonry and all this shit. No, they don't look like what I'm looking at. Oh, we're not going with that. We're not going with that. We don't know what this is. If this your peoples, then y'all some lost motherfuckers. Flat out. This ain't my peoples, man.
Between, with many actually having long hair and blue eyes. Even though the various East Asian powers, that being the Mongol, Chinese, and Japanese Empire, have had a strong grasp on various parts of North Asia, today East Asians make up only a tiny minority of the population there, with the largest being the various Mongol tribes near the Republic of Mongolia, known as Buryats. Koreans also make up a small minority in the region of Primorsky Krai, especially the city of Vladivostok, seeing how the area used to belong to the Qing dynasty, and the Chinese would use Koreans for hard labor in the biting cold, and the island of Sakhalin, where the Japanese used them for much of the same purpose. Because of various policies of forced migration by Joseph Stalin and other Soviet leaders, there's a myriad of different ethnic minorities in the region.
Pay attention.
Such as Belarusians and Tatars. And Siberia used to actually have one of the largest proportions of Ukrainians in the Russian Empire in the early 20th century because all of the state's political enemies were forced to settle in the region, much in the same way that Australia was once used as a penal colony by the British Empire. Bizarrely, there's...
Hey, man, before I continue, man, I need y'all to run up them likes, man. We got 362 people in here. Let's get the likes up. Let's try to get 400 people in this live stream, man. In order to do that, I'm gonna need y'all to thumb up the video and share the live stream, man. If y'all want to support the channel, feel free, man. If y'all enjoying the bill, support the channel. Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. But what this is showing you, the linguistic evidence. Well, at this particular bill, this is showing you culturally practices and also the connection between European, Native Americans, and Asians by cultural practices and also observation. The build I did previous to this, it was talking about the linguistic evidence, and we're going to be rotating back and forth. This is a dope build. This is a very informational build. Shout out to my brother 111 Truth Searcher. This video will be in the description box so y'all can continue to look at this. This is a very lengthy build, so I'll be doing a part 2 series to this tomorrow. Like I said, this is a very, very lengthy build. I will be doing a part 2 series to this tomorrow. Shout out to my brother 111 Truth Searcher. Make sure y'all support the channel. Hit that like button. Let's get 360 likes in the building, y'all. If y'all can share the live stream twice, we can get like 500 people in the live stream. Let's go.
Even a region in Russian Siberia known as the Jewish Autonomous Oblast. Bizarrely, there's even a region, one of the largest proportions of Ukrainians in the Russian Empire in the early 20th century because all of the state's political enemies were forced to settle in the region, much in the same way that Australia was once used as a penal colony by the British Empire. Bizarrely, there's even a region in Russian Siberia known as the Jewish Autonomous Oblast, where Jews only make up around 1% of the population, but originally it was intended that all of Russia's Jews would settle into the territory on the border with China. However, this didn't exactly pan out, with most of Russia's Jews heading to Israel instead. Interestingly enough, there's a strong connection.
What do that remind you of?
A Native American.
Let's keep going.
Instead, interestingly enough, there's a strong connection between the people of Siberia and the indigenous inhabitants of the continents of the Americas, as we discussed last video. And a couple groups, such as the Aleuts, are actually native to both continents, that being the northeast corner of Asia and the northwest corner of North America. One of the most interesting North Asian groups are the Ainu people of the region around the Sea of Okhotsk on the Russian island of Sakhalin, the Kuril Islands, and the northernmost Japanese island of Hokkaido. The Ainu today are merely a small minority of the population of Japan, at maybe 0.2% of the population at most, or about 4% of their native Hokkaido, being an even smaller percentage in Russia. However, they've garnered an immense amount of interest from anthropologists for quite some time now. The main reason for the spotlight on the group was over their apparent slight physical resemblance to Europeans, seen in their eye shape, hair texture, and facial and body hair, which is very, very prominent in contrast to most Northeast Asians, who for the most part are not very hairy. Early anthropologists speculated that perhaps the Ainu were descended from an early European expedition to the Far East. However, upon modern-day genetic testing, we've discovered that the Ainu are in fact most closely...
Y'all see that?
Native American.
However, upon modern-day genetic testing, we've discovered that the Ainu are in fact most closely related to other native Siberian peoples. Many linguists, on the other hand, have suggested a link between Ainu, Japanese, Korean, and the many Austric languages of Southeast Asia that originated from Taiwan, which could be possible, but almost certainly the genes of the modern Ainu originated from Siberian groups. The Ainu and Sami people groups actually have a lot in common that you might not have thought about before.
Hold on. Let's get a visual of that map again.
originated from Siberian groups. The Ainu and Sami people groups actually have a lot in common that you might not have thought about before. Both groups are a small minority in their traditional homelands, being in the far north of their respective regions of East Asia and Northern Europe. They each have physical traits and characteristics unique for their position in the region and are both region outside of Antarctica.
My bad.
Many people are aware that the overwhelming majority of people living in Siberia and the northernmost Japanese island of Hokkaido, the Ainu today are merely a small minority of the population of Japan at maybe 0.2% of the population at most, or about 4%. All strict languages of Southeast Asia, Ainu and Sami people groups actually have a lot in common that you might not have thought about before. Both groups are a small minority in their traditional homelands, being in the far north of their respective regions of East Asia and Northern Europe. They each have physical traits and characteristics unique for their position in the region and are both genetic anomalies in their own right. Are they, however, the missing link between modern Asians and whites? Well, not exactly as early scientists believed. Let me know your thoughts on the various North Asian Siberian peoples, the Ainu and Sami, down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been.
All right. Educational purposes only again. All right. Now, this is the time where we start congregating about.
There's a ton of information in this particular bill. Let's let my brother go in on this shit right quick.
Do with genetics, how these people are closely related, but it goes deeper than just them to the Asian part. They're also genetically and culturally connected to the Europeans as well. So right now we got one big ass happy family that's benefiting the most off of our heritage.
And it's not ironic that the Europeans and the Asians are culturally connected, genetically connected, and they're the ones that's still in our heritage. They the ones that's in these $5 tribes. They the ones that's acting like American Indians. So these are the same people that's been doing this. They've been working together for side by side. So when you look at people and you understand these people, like, you can tell a white person from a Native American, even if this Native American is trying to be a white person. Like, let's look at this imagery on the screen. Look at this. This is a Native American. You understand me? That's a Native American. And that's why we got to follow these trail of tents, man. This shit is getting serious out here. We can tell who these people are. Follow the trail of tents. The cultural practices highlights and shows the connection. The linguistic evidence highlights and shows the evidence. And we all have eyeballs, so our observation highlights and shows the evidence. Okay?
Now, who benefits the most off our heritage? These European colonists, these Native Americans, and also in modern times, shit, y'all know who got the money out here in America, especially on the West Coast and the East Coast. Y'all know who killing it. Need I say more? And if you want to throw any Hispanic nations up in there, they still tie in with these people too, because majority of them are genetically and culturally connected to these motherfuckers as well. And on top of that, they even still celebrate it down there, which we seen yesterday. So let me see something. So we're gonna get into it. And this is what we gonna show. Let's go here. National Geographic. Motherfuckers try to play word foolery. Great surprise. Native Americans have Western Eurasian origins. Oldest human genome reveals less of an East Asian ancestry than thought. All right. Nearly 1/3 of the Native American genes come from Western Eurasian people linked to the Middle East and Europe. rather than entirely from East Asian as previously thought. Based on the arm bone of a 24,000-year-old Siberian youth, the research could uncover new origins for American indigenous people, as well as stir a fresh debate on Native American identity. So now, one big question. Let me stop this, right? Let me stop this real quick, right? One big question when it comes to DNA, and like I always tell people, the real question is who are you getting these samples from? Where are these DNA and genetics coming from? Now, most of the connection is made with modern DNA samples. So now you see them tying these modern DNA samples with an ancient DNA sample, which they rarely do from time to time, unless it's dealing with skeletal remains found in other regions outside of America. They never want to test the ancient shit of the Americas unless they find some type of if they do, it might be that 1 in a million that might be different from everybody else. But they never tested it with the majority. So
they never tested, and that's why he did. Shout out to my brother 111 True Searcher, man. He really did his thing, breaking down this video, showing the connection between Native Americans and Europeans, and also Asian descent people. And
reason why
hold on,
it did survive in this area, he kind of
just get to another part of this video. I want to let it go, man. I want to get into the linguistics part of the video. So before we get into the linguistics part of the video, shout out to everybody. I need y'all to thumb up the video, hit the like button, and support the channel. If y'all have not supported the channel, make sure y'all support the real. The real support the real. If you have not purchased the American Guys pay-per-view, links to that is in the description. If you want to purchase a ticket for the up-and-coming battle rap pay-per-view, Aboriginal Power versus Lex Vortex, link is in the description. You know what I'm saying? And also the YouTube channel link to this actual bill is in the description box as well. And if you ain't following BAP News, make sure y'all go follow BAP News. Links to the YouTube channel is in the description box as well. Let's continue this bill, man.
Yeah. Speakers was written so much about, but when we were in the cat villages, we didn't find much about shamanism. We found that every cat family had preserved these spirit images that were carved from the living pinyon pine wood of trees growing in this area of Siberia. People could eat the nuts of these trees, and every family had them and passed it on to the youngest son. Eldest son had to carve a new set for himself. These guarded the family. They protected. You could curse people with them. You could ask questions of the future with them. There's stories and stories about the Allahs, but this has survived even into the 21st century. But shamanism did not survive. The last practicing Soviet.
What you see? What you see? What the fuck do you see? Now, the reason why it did survive in this area, he kind of explained in the first video. Well, go back and watch this video. I'm gonna drop the link. When Stalin was conquering all the Siberian shit, you feel me? People weren't allowed to practice, and that's the reason why only 30 people even still speak the Celt language to this day, because of that. So now they're trying to reintroduce it back and shit up over there. But that's the reason why shamanism haven't survived due to colonization by the Russians. It was much more brutal on them, especially. Well, no, I wouldn't say, but it was brutal. But they couldn't even speak their language, let alone practice, their spirituality like that. But I'm gonna let them keep talking. And let me take it back a couple of seconds so we can get into it. There we go.
Last practicing Soviet shaman died in the 1970s.
And this is actually his son, who's not a shaman, who's showing the costume for my friend Heinrich Werner, who took this photograph. People in 20th century and Soviet period have to do closet shamanism. They couldn't be legally outside doing shamanism. It was suppressed. So shamanism gradually died out.
See, he
And the
said what I
people,
said.
most of them were okay that they didn't have shamans because they're sort of scared of the shamans. The shamans could fly through the air and look down the smoke hole of your teepee at night to see what was going on. And that's a privacy issue. So the cat people were okay. They didn't have shamans. They had doctors now. They have shamans because they're sort of scared of the shamans. The shamans could fly through the air and look down the smoke hole of your teepee at night to see what was going on. And that's a privacy issue. So the cat people were okay. They didn't have shamans. They had doctors now. But the word for shaman in Ket has the root sen, and that's the word chen is the word root meaning heal by singing, and it's in all the Yenisei languages, and all the Na-Dene languages share this word, this root, and no other languages do. So the Ket shamanism was very interesting. The Ket shamans, we didn't find much new because the Soviet
Hold on, let's run
had
that
already
shit back.
discovered a lot of this. But shamans originally had 21 years, and every 3 years they got a
Let's run that back real quick, y'all. I gotta hear that again.
heal by singing, and it's in all the Yenisei languages, and all the Na-Dene languages share this word, this root, and no other languages do. So the Ket shamanism was very interesting.
Right.
But shamanism did not survive. The last practicing shaman died in the 1970s. And this is actually his son, who's not a shaman, who's showing the costume for my friend Heinrich Werner, who took this photograph. People in 20th century and Soviet period have to do closet shamanism. They couldn't be legally outside doing shamanism. It was suppressed. So shamanism gradually died out. And the Ket people, most of them were okay that they didn't have shamans because they were sort of scared of the shamans.
Now listen to how they say the word is pronounced the same, not only with them though, but with this Na-Dene language as well. Just pay attention.
The shamans could fly through the air and look down the smoke hole of your teepee at night to see what was going on. And that's a privacy issue. So the Ket people were okay. They didn't have shamans. They had doctors now. But the word for shaman in Ket has the root sen, and that's the word chen is the word root meaning heal by singing, and it's in all the Yenisei languages, and all the Na-Dene languages share this word, this root, and no other language.
So they're the only people that share this word in this language, no other language.
Just do. So the Ket shamanism was very interesting. The Ket shamans, we didn't find.
Y'all seeing it?
Much new because the Soviet ethnographers had already discovered a lot of this. But shamans originally had 21 years, and every 3 years they got a new drum, a bigger drum when they got more and more adept. And so great shaman was very rare who practiced for 21 years. They had the largest drums in Siberia. And shaman costume had pendants that had sacred meaning. Animals like otters or loons that went between the water and the air were considered to be sacred.
Man, this shit look familiar.
Go from the living world to the spirit world in their quest of power, and also in their quest of healing souls who had wandered off into the other world. Dragonfly was the strongest kind of shaman that also eats mosquitoes, by the way, dragonflies. That was a powerful summer shaman pendant, and only a shaman who was born in the summer months could wear that particular pendant. The Yanina Findeisen was very interested in finding more about shamanism, but there was no more shamanism. And the grandson of the original shaman, the son of this man who's showing the costume of his father, had become a Christian, and he refused to speak anything about shamanism. So Yanina had a little bit harder time finding out what she wanted to learn from the population about shamanism as a result of that. She was probably 30 years too late. But everyone liked her. She took fantastic photographs. Now, I should tell you that Yanina should have stuck to Siberia and mosquitoes because she was captured in her religious studies by ISIS a few years ago, spent almost a year in captivity, and wrote a book about it. And so I had lost contact with her, and I only found that out this past year. I haven't been in contact with her since. So if you may have heard that name, time for us to leave. We left on the last boat on the last day of August, going down for days going up the river for days before we got to a town that actually had a road and a railroad that connected us to the outside world. So that was the end of the expedition, and I had to do everything backwards to get back to teach in time, including giving a talk in Leipzig. Since that expedition, we worked and put out almost 1,000-page Ket dictionary, so all the modern Ket words are available to all of the scholars. But still, I was interested in these questions. Where did the Ket tones come from? How did the verb structure develop? And how convincing is this evidence for Dene and Hussein? How much of this evidence could I gain new that would make that hypothesis better? And it's very hard to demonstrate a language family. You can get a word list that looks alike, but that could easily be coincidence. You have to have the consonants and vowels match up in the different words. You have to have them interlockingly corresponding. That's a lot harder to do unless the languages descend from a common origin. Then that is how they are structured. You have to find those patterns. Finally, you have to find how the whole grammatical system shared by the two languages come from a common system. And only when you have all three of these things do you start convincing other linguists that there's something to this hypothesis. I would say there's a fourth criterion, and that is that if you really do have a true hypothesis, the comparison between the separate language families should illuminate some new understanding of the evolution of the different grammatical and phonological patterns in each individual family. That just naturally happens if languages are actually related. But I think that the skeptics, like my friend Lyle Campbell, should get more credit than they are due, because they keep linguists to the grindstone of really showing the real evidence in something that's not really a fully completely hard science where all linguists always agree on the same thing. There's differences of opinion. So the Ket tones, they really exist. Here are they. There is haiv and koi, and then there's the abrupt.
So if y'all haven't checked this video out, it's in the description box. This is a very informational bill. It's showing the linguistic evidence between Asians, Native Americans, and also European cultures. But this particular build is going to go back to the cultural differences. So I want y'all to pay attention to this one. This is the dope build right here. Shout out to my brother 111 Truth Searcher.
On this Q&A.
Shout out to my brother 111 Truth Searcher, by the way, man. Shout out to him. Let's continue this, man. Let's continue.
On this Q&A form. Right. So the question was this. Can y'all see that? Why do Native Americans and Asians have similar appearances? All right. Now, an actual Native American responded to this. You feel me? Because this picture, right? This picture, right? This is a Korean. You feel me? This is a Korean. So this is not even a Native American. You feel me?
And what he's showing you is Asian people, and these Asian people look just like Native Americans, man. Hey, let's get some likes up in this building, man. Let's get 380 likes in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's get a few more likes, and if I can get everybody to share the live stream, we can get like 500 people in this live stream. So, hey, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Hey, let's try to get 500 people in this chat. Let's try to get 500 people in here this Grand Rise. I'm going to need everybody to share the live stream at least twice, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the building. Damn, it feel good to be Aborigine, man. We chopping this fable up, man. We proving that these Native Americans, these Asian descent people, these so-called Mexicans are not the original people of this land. It's easy. It's easy work. Shout out to my brother 111 Truth Searcher. Make sure y'all share the live stream.
They're showing you. They're playing the roles. Right now, I'm trying to get down to the response, right? So this was the response. Yo, I can answer this one. By the way, I'm part Native American. Natives from Siberia. By the way, Native Siberians were Asian before white people took over. They came to the America from a land bridge, which is the Clovis. They separated into different parts of the land they found. They are three major ethnic groups of Native Americans: the Inuits, the North Native Americans, the South Native Americans. The Inuits live in Alaska, Canada. The Inuits are different racial groups from two other groups of Native Siberians. So their skin adapted to the climate of America. So is why North and South American Indians are darker than Inuits. Yeah, sure they are. But they all are closely related to East Asia, which the scientific word for it is Mongoloid. If you find a full-blooded native, they will almost look fully Asian. Now listen to that. If you find a full-blooded native, they will almost look fully Asian. Native Americans share no genes with Europeans, which I have no idea what people thought that ridiculous idea from. See, once again, I told y'all that is a real argument going on within these tribes. You feel me? You never see a full-blooded native that look white. Also, the term Indian was used by Christopher Columbus' mistake for America for India. Now look, they give you pictures. All right, this is a Native Siberian man. This is a Native Siberian woman. You feel me? Now this one right here is actually a Native American man. This is actually a Native American man. We're just gonna leave that one there right there for a second. There's actually a Native American man. Right? In the fucking 1600s and the 1500s, right? But they tell you they up in Africa, but in actual here we go. Interestingly, an indigenous population in North Japan, the Ainu, was placed relatively close to Native Americans in the correspondence analyst. Distribution, particular HLA-A, negative B, negative DRB1 alleles, and haplotypes was also analyzed in relationship to migration and dispersal route of ancestral population. Now, where was I at up in here, right? Now, we know that the Portuguese was known as some of the biggest slave traders in the fucking 1600s and the 1500s, right? But they tell you they up in Africa, but in actuality, this motherfucker was in the Indian subcontinent all the way into Goa. Let's keep going. They say, contemporaries took special notice of the ships that regularly left Goa for Manila and condemned many offenses to God that were committed on these slave vessels. You feel me? In this sense, the influx of American silver escalated Portuguese slave trading in the Manila. Now, if they was trading African slaves on the Atlantic, right, why would American silver escalate their slave trading in Manila, right? So let's keep reading. We're going to get to the full context of all this shit. As it prompted Portuguese traders to increase the number of slaves they brought to Spanish capital to exchange for silver. The Portuguese, moreover, increased their trading activities because Manila had a great demand from slaves. They had the largest demand for slaves. The slave trade in Manila ran well because the Portuguese had a trading network to supply their own colonial possession with slaves, particularly Goa and Macayu. So they telling you they getting an abundance of slaves from out of Japan and southern China, right? Long before the Iberian Union. You feel me? According to Spaniard Juan de Rivera, Portuguese in India had more slaves than any other nation of the world. Damn, I thought this was supposed to be some Africans, though. Hyperbole, notwithstanding, the typical Portuguese in Goa had 10 slaves. These slaves were from regions as far away as Mozambique and Japan. So there go your African. Mozambique. Not motherfucking Ghana, nigga. Shit. Not even Mali. Let's keep going. Goa. Hold on. Yeah. I'm gonna explain everything. Chief Tess. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna finish reading this, and then I got you. Cause let me see which one is the most. Indian subcontinent on lock too, and they was hitting up the east coast of Africa and shit too. But the slave trade really was told in reverse, because here go documentation that show of an existing slave trade from the 1500s to the 1800s. But what this say? Okay, right here. According to Spaniard Juan de Rivera, Portuguese in India had more slaves than any other nation. Hyperbole, notwithstanding, the typical Portuguese in Goa, which would be Japan, and 10 slaves. Had 10 slaves. These slaves was from region as far as Mozambique and Japan. The life story of Anton Rosado, who was born in Japan, Goa, and died in Mexico, testifies to the reach and working of the Portuguese Indies trade. The Portuguese brought his ancestors together. In Anton's own word, his paternal grandfather had been Captain General of the fleet in Goa, a great gentleman who died on his way back to Portugal from India. His grandmother was a slave from Mozambique. So here go your mestizos. They mix in Japanese and Southeast Africans. And his maternal grandparents were slaves for Tenonet in the Maluku Islands, which is Korea. For many years, he worked as the servants of Portuguese soldiers, traveling with them by land and sea to places such as Kuchan and Leon. Then one day in Manila, his employer sold them unjustly into slavery, and he ended up on board the Galeon bound for Acapulco. The Portuguese trade slaves as part of their Indies trade system, Comercio de India, which stretched from East Africa to Japan. So, we're gonna get a map. Like Dora the Explorer. World map. Map. Ain't that how that shit used to go? I just watched that shit with my daughter. But let's get a world map. Here we go. Come on, man. Pull this shit up, man. Stop playing. Pull this shit up. All right, man. Y'all playing games, man. They be hate, man. All right, I know what to do. Here goes a world map, right? So here go Mozambique down here, right? So they were snatching slaves up all along here, around here, here, and here. So they had the stronghold on the slave trade coming up out of these areas, right? Now, I'm going to take this down, right? Let me stop screen sharing, right? Here go to what we talk at mode, right? Man, shout out to my brother Ab TV, man, for sharing my video, man. Salute to the God, man. So this is where we get to talking, right? When we get to using common sense, right? Change were enormous as Indians rather than Chinos, they could no longer be held as slaves. This book trapped Chino's complex journey from the slave market to Manila to the streets of Mexico City and from bondage to motherfucking liberty. You feel me? Now, it's also, you feel me? Close that out. Let's get here. Let's get here. Shout out to my bro, Sir, dropping this motherfucker. All right. So we got a couple of things that way, but you're not part of that migration. As a matter of fact, you don't find no one south of the cold region with the genetic makeup that closely resemble them, as if on some mother to son, or parent to sibling, parent to child genetic makeup. As a matter of fact, your genetic makeup is more closely resembled to that of Japan. And we know people from Japan did not come by way of them motherfucking being straight. They came way by motherfucking ship and bondage. There's only one other migration we find coming up out of there outside of the land bridge. And that's between the 1500s and the 1800s that was running concurrently. And the biggest slave traders was heavily located in the region of where you were motherfucking closely genetically made up. And we got to also understand, right? New Spain stretched into Canada through the whole Southwest United States region. In that middle section, Texas.
Hey, man, this is the part where I dropped the link in the chat, man, because I ain't going to be here too long today, but I am going to do a part 2 to this. Don't even trip. Don't even trip. The part 2 is going to be very fire, man, because I got a couple bills we working off of, explaining the connection, showing the evidence, 100% proof that Native Americans is European and Asian descent. Proof. 100% proof. So if this wasn't enough for you guys, I don't know what is. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'm going to drop the link in the chat again. Shout out to Tyrone Ling in this motherfucker. What up, Ling?
What's up, bro? What up? I heard that you wanted to do an interview on me, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get with you. Email me. I'm gonna try to get an interview with you probably this Sunday, man, on my Bap News channel.
All right, I hope so.
Yeah, email me so I can get a contact, so I can get a hold of you behind the scenes.
All right, you on Instagram, right?
Yep, I'm on Instagram. Sure.
Yeah, I'll DM you on Instagram my email.
Do that, or just shoot me your number, so I can just contact you on Instagram.
All right.
So yeah, we'll lock in. So yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Shout out to Tyrone. Oh man, we got the man of the hour in this motherfucker, man. We got 111 Truth Searcher in this motherfucker himself. What's going on,
hey,
brother?
Truth Searcher, what's that book that you was reading off of with the East Indian slavery?
There's a few of them.
I believe that wasn't a book. I believe that was a scientific journal report that he was reading of actual studies.
Shoot, I want a copy of that. You got my Instagram, right?
No, I don't even be on Instagram, bro.
What about Facebook?
No, I don't really be on those social medias
Yeah,
like
what
that.
you be on, bro?
Shit.
Just YouTube?
YouTube and Backwoods.
Backwoods? Damn.
What's good, Troop? What's good, AP? What's good, everybody? Grand Rising.
He gonna be on them Backwoods real soon.
Damn, it feel good to be
Well, I put my phone number in the private chat.
All right, I'm gonna get Tyrone.
On some G shit, if you go over those videos on my page and you zoom in, all the links at the top of the bars and shit. And I was dropping them in the chat as well too. So if you
So if
turn
you
on
go
the
back
live
and
chat during the video,
yep, go back and watch the live video. And all the videos that you've seen is in the description box below. So you can go right to the videos, hit the live, and get the links that's in that motherfucker, man. Shout out to my brother 111 True. Hey man, so we like I said, man, we got the man of the hour on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You unleashed some heat on this motherfucker, man. It's a classic right here.
man, I appreciate that shit, bro. It's man, you know, shit. When motherfuckers piss you off, bro, it puts you to do greatness sometimes, man. You
Right.
feel me? Shout out to Lex. Shout out to Lex Vortex. That's all I got to say.
Lex Vortex, man. Shout out to Lex, man. It's going down October 31st, Halloween. Montezuma meet Shaka Zulu Part 2, man. Hey, it's going down, man. Lex Vortex versus.
Yeah, because I hope he come with that heat and defending that Africa shit.
Man,
because he been talking shit last time I heard of him.
And you know, just to put that shit in context, though, bro, is basically what I was trying to show with all those scientific journals and those books by those scholars was pretty much that we've been fed this one trading route, and the whole time the biggest trading route was going on in the Pacific. And the most active so-called slave catchers was more heavily involved in the Pacific. And a lot of people don't know that Mexico actually controlled Manila all the way to 1868. So all trade went through there, not to mention a lot of product or people wasn't even documented. As a matter of fact, they say for everyone that's documented, at least 4 passed undocumented. And also all those laws they passed that eventually gave these people freedom under the title Indian vassals. At first, they was known as the Asian Indians. And then they dropped the Asian and just put Indian. And that's all due to New Spain and the decree they passed in 1672. Was it 1572? It was one of the two.
One of those years.
Yeah.
And what's funny about that
crazy.
shit is British and the French and the the Dutch, these people were poor, so they didn't even have the money to go enslave anybody. It was the main ones, the Portuguese and the Spanish, that were enslaving the entire world on lock.
It was mainly the Portuguese and the Dutch, because the Dutch and the Portuguese actually fought over some lands over in that area because they was trying to get the silver from either Spain, but the Dutch had to get their shit through the Chinese, because the Chinese was involved in this shit too. They was bringing a lot of people down from the mainland into those areas to sell them as well too. As a matter of fact, only less than 1% of people in Philippines are actually indigenous Philippines. That's how so much influx of traffic and people got flooded into the area, because that was the docking port heading to America. So everyone around that region bought their goods to that docking port.
And the funny part is they was confusing.
They go to the Americas.
They was confusing like American Indians as like the people down there in the Indian subcontinent. So who would they would have ran into first? Would have ran into a Brahmin light-skinned individual?
Well,
like
they ran
you
into
see
the
a mosquito
Negritos,
today,
bro.
or would they run into Dravidians and Negritos and them Sentinelese people?
They was running into Negritos.
What's good? What's good?
Shout out to Big Dog Philly OG. What up with it, man? Shout out to Big Dog Philly OG.
What's good, family?
Big Dog.
Big Dog.
Big Dog Philly, what's going on? And you know, man, they was bottlenecking a lot of people. That's why, like, you see so many, like, all the motherfuckers don't look the same, but you see a
Yeah.
little bit of each of them in each other though.
That's the diversity that they have. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason you got that diversity, like you said, is because population bottlenecks. And a population bottleneck in scientific terms is pretty much a genetic bottleneck. It's where you got an accumulation of large groups of different ethnicities and different phenotypes and genetics going to the same area at the same place at the same time, accumulating amalgamation of different variants and combinations, which gives the oppression of diversity. You know what I'm saying? At the end of a population bottleneck or genetic bottleneck is diversity. So you have to look at that within places like Asia, Siberia. You have to look at places like Africa. Why do they have a large population of diversity? And they never explain or want to go into the population bottleneck. And the population bottleneck can only happen when a migration from one landmass to another happens. Proven that people from the Americas migrated to other places, and not only did people from America, other people from various different places migrated.
So why in these DNA companies, whenever they talk about world history or humanity history, how come they always try and erase the authentic Aboriginals of that area and show you a pale individual and try and push that off as the original inhabitant? That's what I always see with these individuals, like that Massa Man character that you showed, talking about like the Siberian and the Eurasian, but they never want to talk about that Australoids was down up in here and they didn't come from any damn where, but they was always in the Americas. But they want to make it seem like they are some out of Africa theory migrants that walked up out of Africa and landed in these spots.
Well, what they like to accumulate is that these various different hominids, Australopithecus and Australoids, and all these people was here, but you only had niggas here, right? And you find that through the bones that was found here, and you find it through also archaeology evidence. And what we're looking at when we're studying these particular things, they went from evidence of people in America at 13,000 years to now in 2022, the conversation is at 130,000 years that humans were here in America operating. And that's significant because that's 50,000 years before the first African allegedly migrated out of Africa. It's 40,000 years before the first African migrated to Europe. So if they have not migrated to Europe and Australia, which is the closest countries and continents next to them, there's no way they made it to the Americas first. So when they look at evidence of the Americas, they jump to the conclusion, well, this is some hominid. It could not be a hominid based off of the factors that no hominid bones or activity has ever been found in the Americas. They don't even have primates. So this is very, very significant to the point that they don't want to jump to the gun that niggas and the anatomically modern correct humans, Homo sapiens sapiens like today, niggas was here in America at 130,000 years ago, because it kills the narrative of the out of Africa theory immediately.
Oh God! On top of the fact that they never ever been able to fully back the barren land bridge passage. That's why I still call it theory. And every time they think they can stamp a date on it, something pushed the date back farther, to the point that now the time frame that they given is actually doing the most brutal and coldest point of the ice age. So you telling me doing the most brutal and coldest point of the ice age, which freeze to death woolly mammals and all types of ancient animals, it froze them to fucking death, that it didn't freeze humans who didn't have fur or nothing up on them whatsoever. Like even the furs that
and
they
then
wore,
what's the kicker is,
hold on 1 second, Tyro. I'm gonna make this quick, bro. Even the fur, and people be like, oh well, they wore animal furs and stuff. Well, these very furs from these animals couldn't even protect the animals while they had warm blood pumping through their body. So why did it protect these people? You feel me? And that's why the shit is a phallus. And as a matter of fact, the whole Clovis shit is all the way down in New Mexico. How the fuck do you bypass that whole stretch of so-called migration and start in New Mexico, and you don't start all the way to fuck up there
and
first?
that whole Clovis shit. My bad, Truth. I just want to piggyback off. Shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. If y'all have not supported the channel, make sure y'all support it, man. The real support, the real Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. Support the channel if you're enjoying the build. But listen, that whole Clovis first site was taking place with the whole 12,000, 13,000 year evidence are leading into what we call the Bering Strait information. But now we know, as in North Carolina, they found evidence of humans in America at 50,000 years dealing with Tom Demaray's work, right? They try to ridicule Tom Demaray until the evidence was overwhelming. They classified it as a fact. They allocated him for his work. They classified Clovis versus Pseudo, all based off of Tom Demaray's work, and he proved it. He was saying it years before they even came with the Clovis first module that no, this site is at least 25 to 30,000 years, and it far preceded his own thoughts, because it ended up being 50,000 years old site. You know what I'm saying? And that's dealing with Tom Demaray's work. And when you deal with the Americas going back to 10,000 BC, or what we call the thawing of the last ice age, or right after the Younger Dryas, you have a population density take place. You got megaformers, which is large animals, anything over 75 pounds, disappearing. Not only disappearing, you finding subspecies of them popping up in continents away, which gives the evidence or alludes to the fact of migration. Scientists was often saying that the Indians of the land killed off all these animals. Now that's pseudo. Science proved that these animals migrated. So they was even saying that Native Americans and indigenous Aboriginal people that happened to this land prior to the Ice Age was killing these animals off. And that's how they was explaining these large mastodon and mammoth bones and pals washing up in the permafrost that they recently found in Canada, Alaska, and various other places. You see what I'm saying? But evidence shows that it was a flood. They was caught up in this glacier dam that broke. This is give evidence to a Younger Dryas or a cataclysm happening. And they got it placed around 10,000 BC is when it happened. If you add another 2,000 on to 10,000 BC, you got 12,000 years, and that's significant when you going back into historical narratives like Plato, right? Like Solon, right? Like the Atlantis story, because according to Plato, it happened in 9,000 BC, which if you go to his date, that's exactly 12,000 years, and it's not coincident that science says something happened at 12,000 and Plato said something happened in what we call 12,000 years ago. So we have to start looking at the evidence at a significant point and an angle in on some of this shit, man. Seriously.
And to add on to that, how come you can find like animals in cold weather with afro textured hair, but you can't find no afro textured haired animals in Africa?
Yeah, man, that's for real.
Well,
and the
like
thing
we can
is,
literally find penguins with afros, baby penguins with afros, but we can't find like a African ape with afros.
And listen,
you can't find like
to zoology, right? And start following the zoology. It was also a misnomer that the Spanish introduced horses to America around the 1500s. That was a story that was put around, but zoologists and other evidence shows that the oldest horse remains ever found in the planet was found in America going back 12 million years ago, and it virtually looked exactly the same as the horse looked today, except for the hooves would have been a soft hoof, similar to a dog's foot. It would have been soft instead of hard like you see today. So over time, as they traveled, the hooves hardening based off of the terrain, sand and rocky of Europe. But not only to prove that all zebras and horse-like animals in the Eastern Hemisphere lead back to the American horse, and that goes along with lions as well. The African lion, back to the North American
elephant.
Not even the lion, the camel. We can see the migration patterns of the camel. It came from the Americas and walked all the way down to Africa.
And a lot of people don't know that North American that the North American cave lion is the oldest lion in the world, which gave birth to all lion species that we see today. And we can track that back from camels, going back to alpacas and llamas. We can track that back down to various different species, even the elephant.
Shit, the red wolf. Ethiopia got red wolves and America got red wolves.
Hold on, brother Tyree. Please let us get it out, bro.
Mind you, all these animals, you know, are giant or used to be big as hell too. They used to be fucking giants and shit. Like,
yep.
In South America, fucking scientists try to confuse fucking giant armadillo shells for fucking dinosaur eggs until they fucking dug the whole goddamn exoskeleton out the fucking ground and shit and saw the skeleton of a fucking armadillo. Like,
I mean, we can go back to various different animal species and show how they migrated and created subspecies as they migrated to various different parts, all the way, like I said, from the woolly mammoth to the camel, to being the alpaca, to the elephant being the woolly mammoth, to the African lion being the North American cave lion, and all the way down to zebras coming back to the horse. This is all evidence. You can just look this up. This is proven fact. Like,
not to mention real quick,
what's going on in the chat though? Hey, what's going on in the chat? Get that cracker out of the chat. That motherfucker named Joe. Get his ass
cool.
the fucking.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's cool, bro. No, man, we got to teach the world, bro.
Yeah, I don't even respond to chat, bro. The link is in the chat, so we don't even waste time even acknowledging brothers in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but to get to the elephants though. Oh, my bad, bro. My bad.
Go ahead, you see this image, Aboriginal?
Nah, to get when we start talking about the elephants, we got to start speaking about the four tusks, the elephant with the 3 and 4 tusks that they found down in California. You feel me? And they confuse you with, oh, this is a woolly mammoth and this an elephant. These the same 2 damn animals. Even elephants still have strings of hair on them today. Some of them be hairless, but some of them still sprout hairs here and there in their body as well today. It's the equivalence of having a regular cat and a hairless cat, pretty much. So this is pretty much the ancient ancestor of the motherfucking elephants, which would be the motherfucking woolly mammoth.
Even when you get into like things in Africa, like one of the highlighted factors they like to go to is Egypt. And even when you go to Egypt and look at some of the deities and the zoo types of these deities, even give reference and reverement to the Americas. You know, you deal with Horus, you deal with various different animals. You got the longhorn cattle head. You got the falcon head. You got various different things, and then most of these animals' origins leads back to the Americas. You understand me?
Fact.
Yeah, and not just in animals. Even when you look to human evidence and cultural practices and things that's significant to groups in particular areas, and then you find them in other areas that has the same significance or similarities, you have to ask yourself, how did these get here when no other group is practicing these particular practices in this continent, but there's large groups practicing it in another continent? So you have to look at these particularly.
Joe, hit the link. Joe, hit the link if you want to hop up on here. You said the link is down there.
Back Creek, don't do that. Come on, bro. We ain't responding to the chat, fam.
On top of that, you got motherfuckers saying shit like, oh man, they kept warm during the most brutal time of the Ice Age because of fires. You could clearly tell that this was a motherfucker that never been camping before. Because nigga, I'd have been camping and we done build fires, nigga. And we was still cold than a motherfucker, nigga. We not even gonna play that game. You feel me? While we building fires and shit trying to keep warm, the animals are walking around normal. The deers are moving through the forest and shit. They not cold. The bears, everything. So how the fuck is this fire gonna keep us warm when it's barely keeping us warm now while you camping and the animals are straight? But it's so damn cold now that animals are freezing. This little weak ass fire keeping us warm. Like, come on, man, we ain't gonna play those games. That's foolery.
How does it fucking work? Like you gonna bury yourself some more in some more snow, and that fire's supposed to be kept going under like a ball of snow, a hut of snow. Like I don't get it.
Well, we got the info, and salute to all the guys, man. Hey, guys and goddesses, hey, salute to y'all, man. Look, hey, y'all
What's up,
bringing
beef?
out the truth. Y'all walking these niggas down. You understand what I'm saying? So salute to y'all. Here's one. You know, year round, under 6 feet under the earth, the core surface is 60 degrees year round, even in the ice age, right? So only thing you have to do is start a fire underground. You got it. Salute.
No, that's true. But and even when they explain this Ice Age story, they're falsely alluding. They tell you that North America was halfly covered with a sheet of ice, and that's partially true and partially not true, because when they mention North American historical texts during the Younger Dryas, they're talking about from Canada. They're talking about from north of Minnesota on up being covered with a sheet of ice. So it wouldn't be no difference than what we see today. We're still seeing the thawing and the permafrost of this ice age still existing in Canada today. Is that today?
Exactly.
Facts.
So
you also get Pan Africans like SETI that we debate.
Hold on, bro. There wouldn't have been no significance to people living here during this cold area. We even find cultural evidence going back 20,000 years ago, according to the American Indian Encyclopedia, 15,000 years of invention and innovation. We find hoodies and pants going back 15 to 19,000 years ago in the Americas. So this shows that these people was prepared and equipped for this weathering, and that people was actually thriving here during the time of the Ice Age. So that's been debunked several times and beyond. So yeah, man, there's really nothing that these people can bring out to us.
And then that other part, Al, the North America is only Canada. We're actually a part of Central America. That's part of the hijack, the takeover. They don't want to. Yeah, you got it.
I concur with that.
Yeah, see, we got the underground railroad tunnels system, right? Throughout all the Americans, thousands of them, even going underneath the ocean floor, right? So when they give us this, all this shit in them books that they done taught us or forcefully fed us, right? Y'all bringing it out, bro. All that shit is lies. All that shit is hypnosis. Right? Because they're trying to take your position. They trying to be you.
Hey man, we got my brother Chief Holiday on this motherfucker. What's going on, Chief?
Salute.
Got Hawk School on her too, man. What up, Hawk?
Salute.
What up?
Peace to the guys, man. Bap. Hawk School. Tayshawn on here. Beast Mode. Peace to the guys, man. What's on here, man?
Salute.
Peace, everybody. Peace to all the American Aborigines, man. Hey, truth. Dope build, man. Dope build. Dope conversation, man. Y'all know we working over here, man. So, but this is definitely a big problem that we have in our community, specifically because a lot of us believe that they're mixed with Native Americans and some type of African or some type of Black, but you're mixed with the people who are mixed. Now, the people that we're talking about are mestizos. Okay, mestizos. You have to look this word up. We're going to do a build on this later. Mestizos. Put that in the word. Hack it up. Miscegenation. It's been, right? It's called miscegenation. Now, you have to ask yourself, where did this happen at? Did it happen in America? Of course it did. Did it happen in Asia? Of course it did. Did it happen in Europe? Of course it did. Did it happen in Africa? Of course it did. Did it happen in Australia? Of course it did. Okay? But why, if you ask any Pan Boo Boo, are the people there in North Africa right now, the original people there, they're going to say no. Why is it so hard for you motherfuckers to believe, to actually know this is a fact, that the original people in the Philippines are not Manny Pacquiao. They're Negritos. They're still fucking
Aboriginal
there.
power. Show my screen right quick.
Say,
Yeah,
man,
I'm gonna back
say,
it
man,
up.
I'm tired of y'all, man. And this amalgamation did not happen thousands of years ago. They wrote that in history. They put it in books. They put it in movies. What the fuck? Hey, man, what the hell is going on? 2,000 years ago, man, the whole planet was niggas. So why do y'all believe that 12,000 years ago, some mixed people was moving around this planet when the pale man wasn't here to create them? Who are we talking to, bro? Who are we playing with, man? Y'all, please stop being so stupid. So when you see these people here and they say they look like Koreans, because the people who created the Koreans in Korea created them here. Or could have brought them here, but when they brought them here, that was the late 1800s going into the 1900s. Do y'all not understand this? What the fuck is happening?
AP, I got the visual.
Can I add
Hey, bro.
something?
Stop it, please. Yeah, got it, man.
I want to add on to what you just said too after you, bro. Go ahead.
Hey, man, I used to go back and forth to Africa, working in the oil and gas. I live here in Houston. And I used to fly to the European country that controls the African country. And in one of those airports, I can't remember if it was France or in England, they had a display of the same shit we see as Native Americans. They had moccasins on, they had spears, and they had canoes. And I was just staring at it. And now it's making sense. I mean, they had the whole shit, and it was on display in the airport, in the international terminal. I can't remember what city it was in. It was either in London or France. But it was like a moving exposition, of artifacts. And there was the exact same shit as they showing us as Native American.
Bro, hey man, listen. What are we talking about though? Like, let's be clear. We know there's a caste system. We know that they put this stuff in. It was niggas everywhere. So if people believe in the out of Africa hypotheses, right? Okay, well then, the niggas was everywhere first. Europe, right? Asia, right? At some point, a change started happening, you guys. It didn't happen a long time ago. So when we're talking about, I just don't, it doesn't make any sense. And you know what we have is evidence to back up what I'm saying? And I know there's a lot of people that's slow, that need to catch up. That's fine. Don't be mad about something. Do your research on it. That's all you have to do.
Shit, even the Chinese people will tell you that they mutations like Li Jin and Qi Qing. They do
It's called
studies on
Negritos.
pigmentation, and they
They're
tell
still
you that
there.
pale skin and straight hair
They're
is a
still
mutation.
They're still there. They're still
let me add
there.
on-
Hey, listen. I don't play with nobody's kids, especially retarded ones. Don't be stupid. All you guys do is do your goddamn research. The original people on this planet are Negroes. The original people in America are Negroes. Now, I got motherfuckers, Native Americans, different people in my inbox and stuff getting at me mad or whatever about the truth. All I got to tell them, stop being racist. You're working for these people. You know that we're the original people.
Hey,
you know
let me
this.
add on to what you're saying about mosquitoes right quick.
Come on, y'all.
Real quick.
Yeah, you got
Get
him, Tay,
So I got what's good, Truth? I'm gonna hit you up after this live screen too, Truth.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be quick though. So I got a Hawaiian homeboy, a Filipino homeboy, a Samoan homeboy, and a homeboy from Guam. So all four of them, they look just alike, right? All of them could either be classified as a Mexican or Native American. They look just like these people. And also, I met all these people I met in the military. So my Guam homeboy, this was like 2015. We was talking about like racial slurs and shit. My Guam homeboy said out his mouth that it's racist to call somebody from Guam a Jap. I didn't understand it back then. A Japanese, right? I didn't understand it back then. Now I know that those people on those islands are mixed people. So now I understand why calling him a Jap would be racist. But I just wanted to say that right quick. Like, I see this shit in real life. Like, these people are mixed. They the same goddamn people. So I just want to say that right quick.
They're Polynesian.
The Polynesians, the original people are black. There was Kanakas.
I mean, that's what it means. There's many.
Blackburn. All Europeans did
many
was
niggas.
That's what it means. Many niggas. I'm
Kanaka.
tired of y'all, man. Stop it. Who we talking
All
to? What was we not at
Europeans
first?
did was
Explain
implant
to me. I'll let this.
themselves
I'll let
into
this.
the
Can somebody
tribe.
explain to us that doesn't agree with this? Where was it the you got Negro not at Polynesian, first?
Melanesian, and one won't.
Nah, man, none of them matter though, bro. They just talking about just when you say poly, you just mean more. See what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. We say Australia, that means Southern people. That don't mean shit, bro. Hey, no, but I'm saying though, bro, we talking about archaeology. We talking about paleontology.
This is the
when are we going to talk about that?
This is why we can't overlook that, right? Because people don't understand that the story and the way that it was written, that the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, they're one of the same people, right?
But there was no such thing as Native Americans since 1975.
Right, but the way that they tell the story,
Indians are the descriptive term of Negroes. So
no,
Elizababeth
Indians
Warren
are
ain't
them.
Indian.
They're explaining
Curie Mayo ain't an Indian.
They're explaining
Tonto
their
ain't Indians.
people. They're
not copper
explaining
colored.
their people.
Nah, but bro, that's what I'm saying though.
People.
We can't get caught up in their social constructs and then build on their social constructs. Why are we gonna do that? We were here first. This our shit. We got the science to prove that.
But
what else we need to do?
That's not the point that I'm addressing, right? What I'm addressing is that within the story, right? Within the play, right? There's a lie being told, right? And so when we talk about pilgrims, right, we have to identify them and attach them to the Indians, like the cowboys and the Indians, right? They're the same people, right? They're just the people that occupy the residence of the people that was driven out of those locations. That's
Pilgrims
it.
was the first Native Americans, 1784. Look it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're the same people. They are the
so
Slavic
it's a part
people.
of the caste system and the social construct that Chief talking about.
Yes, sir. They're one and the same.
No, I'm not. I'm not
y'all
disagreeing
both
with
saying the
you.
same shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
same
I think we are. I think we saying the same thing. I'm just saying we got to take this to the science. How do like when we was talking to Lex yesterday, right? Just asking Lex a simple question. How are you identifying yourself as African, right? He said that means your nationality, you have to be born to live there, right? It's just simple. He knows this, but he also knows that he doesn't have any evidence of ancient Africans. They don't. I want y'all to give us some ancient Africans, not monkey people millions of years ago. Give us some people that 5,000 years ago, please. Where are they at? What did they do? What did they build? Just 5,000 years ago. That's only 3,000 BC, you guys. You guys should be able to do that. So what we have in America, first off, we're here, right? Our ancestors are here, buried in this ground. It's disrespectful for somebody to teach us other than that. Matter of fact, it's illegal. It's illegal in American law as well as international law. Look it up, please. Okay. So once again, these people are mixed and we are participating even at the bottom of it, this caste system. The only way to beat it is take the words away from them. When you see these people talking about they're white, snatch it. Hey, they're not white, you're pale.
Yeah,
you're not brown. You're mestizo.
Anything about Africa. The only thing that really exists under the identification of Africa is a place is one country called South Africa. That's why it's called South Africa. That's the only place in that region that's considered Africa. Right? Everything else is considered El Kelbalan, right? That belongs to what? Babylon. Babylonia. What is Babylonia? Right? That's Saudi Arabia, right? That's Iraq, Iran, right? That's Siberia, right? Media Persia.
Libya.
Right? Media Persia, right? Perasia, Prussia, Russo, right? This is what all this is. This is, bro, it ain't no shit called Africa, bro. Unless you are Caucasian from South Africa.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, that we definitely. But the problem is that we've been taught that we are from Africa. Or they even use a little slick term, African descent, to take us away from here. Oh, you Afro
African
Latino.
diaspora and shit like that.
Man, come on, y'all. Afro Latino mean that you are a African mixed with a
Natural
Latino
person.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean
means
that.
natural, not Africa.
Natural. It doesn't mean Africa. Africa don't mean fucking Africa.
Exactly. I mean, where
Fuck
they get
y'all
the
talk
word
about,
Africa
man.
from, they get it from the word meaning Afrique, meaning land of dust. And that's not even an indigenous word that so-called West Africans would call their
We was
own
gonna
land.
name
They
it
call it
Yonder Land.
Farfarina.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, y'all know how your grandma used to be like, go over yonder?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yonder is over there. Wherever it is, it's gonna be called yonder, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Go over yonder. Y'all got, man, come on, bro.
And they
Y'all ain't,
also use the
y'all, man,
phrase
come on, wake the fuck
Timbuktu,
up, bro. Everybody gotta wake up.
yonder
I
and
ain't talking about the
I
panel.
don't.
Y'all
Timbuktu.
know
I
y'all
don't
up
even.
on this
I
shit.
don't even see
Talking about people
these
that's
so-called
fighting us.
Africans.
Wake up.
These so-called Africans. I don't even see them even pay homage to Morocco nor Ethiopia.
Nope, they don't.
Right. Right. Those
What
are
you mean pay
that.
homage?
You see what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying though, people that come here, and they don't identify themselves as Africans. They at least identify themselves as the country that they come from.
Right.
When did that change? When did that change to that? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, people identify themselves as they people. Kunta, even in the movie, once said, I'm an African. He didn't say that in the movie.
Right.
He didn't. He said you parade, but then
Hey, man, you
that
niggas,
character
hey, man,
fiction,
come
that's a
on, man.
Choctaw word.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
whistle and
And then look,
beaver.
anytime y'all see a slave anywhere written, even in Asia, Europe, anywhere, it's a nigga being enslaved, right? From Africa. Stop it. So y'all mean to tell me that these niggas we so weak that we let the Slavs, the actual slaves, without any guns, put us in slavery? Show us where did this happen at? It's happening right now because you believe it happened when it was happening to them. They just rewrote it. They just wrote it
And
for
then
you.
on
Every
top
time
of
I
that,
see
we don't
slave
speak
anywhere,
Portuguese.
I see Sarah Bass, aka the slave of Richard Allen. So not a coincidence when you ask, show us a white slave. Y'all love Richard Allen. Richard Allen owned Sarah Bass, a slave, nigga. It's the GOAT. I'm out, y'all. I gotta go, man. I gotta get to work. I love y'all,
Oh
man.
man, I
Peace
wish
and
you could
balance.
stay
Peace,
for
everybody,
longer,
man.
bro.
Show me some bones, y'all. That's all y'all gotta do. I'm out. Peace and love, y'all.
And still got a Tyron, the Phoenicians. You was bringing it up the other day. Man, look, that's where it's at. The Phoenicians.
Yep. They copied all our languages, all our fucking structures and shit, you know, to build their shit. Aren't they like German or some shit? Or supposed
Yes, sir. German speaking. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Phoenicians?
Yeah,
But
they
on
German
the
speaking.
The
on the
Germans
slave,
didn't exist during the time of the Phoenicians. The Germans were Alemanni.
Yeah, but they speak of a version of a Germanic language.
You mean Indo-European? Because Germanic language didn't exist just yet.
Right. Right. But you know what? I think all that shit is bullshit too. Right? When I say all the shit that they wrote in the books, I'm saying all the shit that they wrote in the books. I'm saying all this shit is a lie. I'm saying all this shit. I'm not picking and choosing, right? Right? I'm saying all this shit from the Encyclopedia Britannica that was written by the Britons, right? Writing itself in history. I'm saying that's a lie. That's bullshit. Right? I'm talking about the Franco documents that was produced by the Franks. I'm saying that's bullshit. I'm talking about the Constitution or Institution. I'm saying that's bullshit. Right? I'm saying all that shit, bro. I'm saying all of it, bro. I'm saying, look, if you tell me you went to school and you got a degree, right? Meaning you raised your temperature, right? You got a degree and you got educated and you some type of scholar. I'm telling you, you're a lie. You're a liar. Right? Because the best teacher is what? Experience, right?
Yeah.
Right? Right? The best teacher is your grandmother, your grandfather, telling you who you are, where you come from. Right? Right? That's your shit. Not in some fucking book, bro. This wizardry, this logistics, this magistics, bro. All that shit. right? Every book had to go through a publishing company, right? It had to be published,
They
right?
had to be peer reviewed.
Yep. Come on, Tyron. Come on, come on. Look, they lied to us, bro. They been lying to us. And guess what? We're trying to use their lie to debunk them. Nah, fuck that. Get your ass on. Like that, on that type of time. I don't give a fuck what you call yourself.
I wish AP would show this visual aid right there, because what's so pathetic about Pan-Africans, they will literally compromise their own beliefs to satisfy and not step on anybody's toes for this African worship, when really, if we are to go by their out of Africa theory, how come light skin and straight hair evolved 8,000 years ago? It didn't even exist when the first man arose.
Facts.
So how the fuck are you gonna sit up there and compromise and call your own people Wabo wanna be Aborigine if that's what the Aborigine is?
Right.
A fucking nigga. Where does the definition of Aboriginal or Achacan say that it's a pale individual? That's the fucking baby mutant. So you niggas is literally deranged, sitting up here saying, oh, y'all want to be anything but African. Life didn't start in Africa. Africans don't even say that life started in Africa. That's only Europeans saying that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look at this peer-reviewed science, they will literally show and tell you that they weren't the original. Like, I'm looking at this picture of this Cro-Magnon man, and it look exactly like motherfucking Geronimo. And I'm looking at this image of Kennewick man, and I can find somebody in Fiji that look exactly like that nigga, but they want to say, oh, that's Patrick Stewart. Come on, man.
And you see, when you said original, that's what I rock with. I rock with the original. You know why the O? Because of the portal, right? The portal. The big old O that's in the portal, right? Right? That we all come through, right?
Yeah.
Right? We all come through that O. We all come through the original old bloodline, right? You want to talk about DNA? Let's talk about that old bloodline, right? What does the O stand for? Does it stand for A? Does it stand for B? Does it stand for Oriental?
No, let me look that shit up. Old blood type meaning.
Right? What does the O stand for? What does the O positive, the O negative blood type stand for? Who did you get that from?
It says the universal blood type, only 9% of the population has O blood type. O negative is the universal blood type. This means that any patient with any of the O8 blood types can receive O negative blood donation to help through treatments or trauma accidents.
Yeah. So see, in our culture, in our ways, we will refusal of a blood transfusion. Right? Right? Unless it came from immediate ancestor, or i.e. Elder. Right? we was in refusal of a blood transfusion. Right? Because that's mixing. That's seed mixing.
And according to what this Google definition of a haplogroup is, a genetic population group of people who share a common ancestor on the parchaline or matriline top level haplogroup are assigned letters of the alphabet, and deeper refinements consist of additional number and letter combinations.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me say something real quick while y'all brothers building, man. Shout out to Beast Mode and Tehran. Lean, man, on this motherfucker, man. I want to say peace and love to everybody in the motherfucking chat, man. We got 460 people in here. Shout out to everybody in the building. If I can get everybody to support the channel, man, support the channel. Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. If you have not purchased the American Gods pay-per-view, make sure you go to the description box and go purchase that. Hey, man, don't forget, October 31st, Halloween, Big Aboriginal Power versus Lex Vortex. Montezuma meets Shaka Zulu Part 2, man, is going down, man. So make sure y'all get y'all tickets. Tickets on sale right now. The ticket price will be going up later on as we encroach on the date of the battle, man. So go and get them tickets early, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. We ain't had nobody support the channel today. Matter of fact, yeah, we did. Shout out to the sister that supported. She wanted to stay anonymous. Shout out to the sister that supported. She wanted to stay anonymous. Shout out to y'all in the building. Man, shout out to, we got some guys on here, man. What's up with it, man? Y'all ready for this event, October, man? Halloween, man. How y'all feeling about that?
Bro. Let's get it.
I need everybody to share this, man. So I need y'all to share the live stream, support the channel. I'll give y'all the link, or y'all can go to my description box, get the link. Make sure y'all supporting it and spreading it and pushing it and promoting it on y'all channels as well. Shout out to Chief Holiday. I know Chief definitely gonna show it and support it. Shout out to my brother Chief.
Yeah, send me the link, bro. I'm a post it on my shit, bro.
I got you. I know Hawk gonna share it. I know everybody in the community. Sister Betty gonna share it. Everybody gonna share it.
Right.
It's going down. We gotta get. Cause listen, this the last time I'm battling the Pan African, and everything sits with this nigga. So we getting rid of this shit once and for all, man. This is bigger than anything right now, man. We killing the Pan African community on all levels. We even doing it in the battle rap format, man. And we're gonna keep it with the consciousness flow. We're gonna keep it strictly to the thing, man. You see it, Montezuma versus Shaka Zulu is going down.
So let me ask you this real quick. You spoke about the caste system a little bit earlier. Do you have any
that was cheap, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was speaking with him though.
Okay. Do you have any literature or anything that informs about the black Asian and the white Asian within that caste system?
I mean, yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, you can see it all over. They was rounding their ass up and snatching them up and shit. You don't even really see them no more. So it shows you the effect that it had on them and shit. You barely see them only in certain areas, and even in those areas, they kind of diluted a little bit and shit, because you know a lot of them got mixtures and shit from the shit that they went through, their ancestors went through. You know, so you know they was affected the most because they had the least population. Not necessarily saying they had the least population, but their population was small compared to us over here. So it had a drastic effect up on them, like how it's having on motherfuckers in Australia right now. Like I tell people, the shit that happened to us is the next place is Australia. When they show Australia Aborigines, you see these pale looking motherfuckers that you can't even tell they got some blood up in them from the Aboriginals or half breeds and shit that them sided the way of the caste system and shit. You know, so they don't even show you the black ass Australia Aborigines no more with the blonde hair and all that. You feel me? Like you have to like really dig deep to even see them. They try to basically try to make it seem like they all been decimated and wiped out, and they haven't. It's just that they're in areas now that that these people can't really go to because it's too hostile as far as like climbing and shit like that. But like, yeah, man, I mean, you see this shit all over. Look at China. Look,
they've been saying shit like that English.
You see that shit.
They've been saying shit like the English Act of Emancipation for the West Indies have laid down virtually a similar distinction between races. Dr. Estes says by the 44th section of the English Act, it is possession of the East India Company or the island of Ceylon of St. Helena. The whole of the English East India possessions are filled with slaves, and number is continuously increasing. Here we have the English exemption in favor of a few black slaves, but the slave disabilities continue to perhaps 100 of East India slaves.
Okay.
Man, shout out to everybody, man. I ain't even gonna lie though. I gotta make a couple runs, man. I'm about to get ready to get the hell out of here, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. I wasn't even gonna go this long, but hey, man, y'all was dropping some heat, man. I appreciate y'all, man. So shout out to everybody on the panel right now, man. We got my brother Back Creek, Tyron, Hawk School, Tayshawn, Beast Mode, 111 True Searcher, and Nonetheless, man. Shout out to y'all for tapping in. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the building, man, for tapping in, man. Make sure y'all drop a fire emoji in the chat. Let me know that y'all can hear it and y'all enjoyed the live stream. Flood this thing out, man. Go on, drop them fire emojis. Appreciate that, all the American Aborigines and everybody that's tapping in, man. Make sure y'all have a blissful day, a peaceful day. Make sure y'all be aware, stay vigilant, stay dangerous. You already know it's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power. Don't forget to go purchase the American Guys pay-per-view and the up-and-coming tickets for the pay-per-view on October 31st on Halloween. Bout versus Lex Vortex. It's going down. Montezuma meets Shaka Zulu Parts 2. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody. With that being said, man, we about to get out of here. Make sure y'all be safe. Make sure y'all be aware. Make sure y'all stay vigilant. Make sure y'all stay dangerous. We out. Peace.
Hey,
We're still here.
what you
What you
showing
say,
them
True?
videos. I appreciate you, man, giving a double life and shit, man, to them videos I did, man. Gratitude, bro.
Man, nah, them classics, bro. Them classics. It ain't too many bills I really be enjoying that I'll watch over. That's one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? Them are one
What's
of them
good,
ones.
brother? Yes, sir. Salute. Hey, appreciate it, Truth. Keep putting the foot on their neck, right? Keep applying pressure. Salute.
Peace. Shout out to everybody, man. Make sure y'all go follow Bout News, man. If you ain't following Bout News, make sure y'all run over there. Link is in the description box to the new YouTube channel. We've been going live over there. We was live last night over there on the channel, lit, talking about some shit. We was going down, beating up on some Pan-Africans. Make sure y'all run over there to Bout News. Link is in the description box below. With that being said, we out of here. The American Aborigines don't die. We multiply. We still here.
We're still here. I still have my practices. We know who we are. This is who we are. So you can call me colored, you can call me Negro, you can call me black.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
You gotta be
What kind
kidding
of
me.
Indian are you?
Like Tonto Indian?
Shinnecock Indian.
Really? You're a Shinnecock?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you're a Shinnecock.
Could have fooled me.
That's the kind I am.
Hey.
So you should be Big Chief Bastard, not Old Dirty.
His family was here when Columbus landed, huh?
Is that right?
Yes.
So you are not a black man, you're an Indian.
I'm an Indian.
No kidding. Now, this is a shock.
We are learning more to.
I don't need no gun to do my thing. Mao Zedong said that power grows out the barrel of a gun. He never said that power was a gun. That's why I don't need no gun to do my thing. What I need is some freedom. What I need is the power to determine my destiny.